Postgame on Fox is sponsored by Old National Bank.
Why should you get old? Well, check this out. Open an eligible Old National checking account and complete qualifying activities to earn up to a $450 cash bonus. Get old? Get more. And get a little something for yourself. It's on us. Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Apply online or visit a local banking center today. Old National Bank. Get old.
Hi, everyone. Luke Canellis, Anthony Herron here with our Fox 32 News post-game show. Bears had not won at Soldier Field since September 25th of 2022. 392 days ago, buddy. Till today, they snapped their 10-game home losing streak, beating the Raiders out at Soldier Field. I'll tell you what, final score 30-12. And you know what? I know that a lot of people are going to talk about Tyson Bagent and the 3-touchdown day for D'Onta Foreman, and for good reason. But what can't be overlooked is the success of their running game as a whole and their defense. But let's start off with Bagent. How did you like the way he played, and what did you think of Luke Getsy's game plan?
I thought Bagent was extremely composed throughout the game, and it's been a familiar storyline with him in a very young professional career. Tyson Bagent, his poise, his confidence, the command he seems to have of things is what's really stood out for a guy who played in the Division II part of his storyline. I think that's always going to be there for as long as he's a pro. But now, in his rookie season, in the thick of a rookie season, that's sort of in the rearview mirror at this point, and it's whether or not you can actually master being an NFL QB. And I think what I saw today, I was impressed. He fed the ball around. He played point guard. They didn't ask him to do too much. There were a couple of key third downs, third and medium, third and long, where he had to stand there in the pocket, scan the field, deliver the football on the money, and in rhythm. I thought he did that well. But for the most part, whether you're looking at the end of the first half, where they took a fairly conservative approach, throughout much of the second half, where the run game really got rolling, and some screen passes, some jet sweeps and things going, where just getting the ball to the playmakers was a huge part of things. And to your question about Luke Getsy, I thought now we got back to what we saw a couple of games in a row. The game plan against Denver, the game plan against Washington, where there was misdirection, there was movement of the pocket, there was a variety of playmakers involved in things, and that really seems to suit what the Bears have available to them, whether it was Justin Fields at quarterback, really lighting things up, throwing touchdown passes all over the place. Then the Vikings game plan just didn't suit that. Now we saw them get back to that today, a very controlled and composed version of the passing attack from Tyson Bagent, and he was very accurate, got the ball out really quickly, and it really was able to help stymie a great performance from that offensive line. Part of that as well was Tyson Bagent getting the ball out quickly.
I love that you referenced what the Bears did on third down. 8 of 13 defensively. They allowed the Raiders 2 of 9 on third down. And I want to go to the defense now before we get into more of the offense and what Tyson Bagent did. I did some arithmetic before we hit the air.
I know you were going to, man. I can't wait to hear this.
Well, because I don't think that we've given enough credit to the Bears defense lately, especially with Matt Eberflus trying to handle 2 jobs as defensive coordinator and as head coach. But their run defense, folks, cannot be overlooked. What they have accomplished the last 3 games now against Washington, Minnesota, and today against the Raiders, they have allowed on 46 rushes, 107 total rushing yards. That's 2.1 yards a carry. You are not allowing the opponent to establish any type of run game to hold, to put together any type of passing game.
And you're getting that type of production from your front seven, and the secondary now healthy for the Bears over the last couple of weeks. And so we've seen the way that their approach defensively has continued to evolve. I would say today's game plan defensively, the most press man coverage on the outside, and that was with the knowledge that Davante Adams was talking all week about how he needed to be targeted more by this Raiders offense. They got him very involved early in the game. Certainly Tyreek Stevenson was a guy who we see him get targeted on a weekly basis. He was a little bit passive in coverage, I thought, on the opening series, and then from there his coverage tightened up. And what a day for Jalen Johnson. Really felt good for that. It was kind of similar to me, one of the games last season where Roquan Smith just kind of took the game over and had a big interception to seal things late. And Jalen Johnson, I'm very hopeful, and I think you would agree, hopeful that he and the Bears will figure something out contractually. But he's a guy who's been just blanketing the best receivers that the Bears face in coverage throughout most of his career. The interception numbers haven't really really been there for Jalen Johnson. Certainly not who he was in college either, but a multi-interception game with a pick six that sealed the deal. Jalen Johnson, at least statistically, now we saw a day that kind of put the entire league on notice how exceptional he's been.
You went back to Roquan Smith. He played well, and then he got traded, and the trade deadline coming up on Halloween, a week from Tuesday. And if they don't feel they can come to some type of an extension with Jalen Johnson, who knows what the Bears do. Want to go to some tape. Tyson Bagent with Fox's Laura Oakman after the game.